Well, that was indeed the greatest card of all time. Like, we witnessed 7 fights, 7 finishes, upsets. Mystic Kenny picks. Yes, I know the Cyril gone 100 plus hours footage, brother. Mr. Kenny struck again. But before we get into all that Mr. Kenny talk, all that glaze, you know what I'm gonna do to myself when I get to the Cyril gone hours per section, so I can get my told you so's in. The main event almost made me forget about it. Yo, oh my god. Now there's a world where I did see that. Like, listen, Hamza just be Strickland. Anything could happen in this fight, guys. Ilya Topuria made a huge mistake in this fight, and I know why Ilya lost, and we're gonna talk about it. But I just gotta say, and I just applaud Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje went in there and fought Ilya Topuria and won. Now, when I was saying Justin could make it difficult on my prediction, I was saying I could see Justin making difficult by low kicking and kind of running away to survive. That's in my head, like how I thought he could make it difficult. No, he made it difficult by going in there and fighting Ilya Topuria. Let me tell you guys the mistake that Ilya Topuria made where I knew he was, like, I didn't know he was going to lose, but I was like, he's doing something where he's doing too much. Ilya fights like that, but not the way he fought this fight specifically. He went in forward and didn't respect Justin Gaethje's power because he was chasing the first round finish so he could be Mystic Mac, if you would call it. He'd been saying all week he's going to get a first round finish. Now, by the way he was walking forward, trudging forward, and kind of just high guarding like that, that's not typical Ilya to a sense. Yeah, he does have that style, but typically he's not leaned as much. Because why? He's usually a little bit more hunched forward, throwing low kicks when he needs to. It seemed like he just had no respect for the guy in front of him and wanted to walk him down and break him. Now, Gaethje from there was landing jabs and jabs. Now, I know Ilya Topuria didn't respect the power, which was kind of stupid. Like, everyone that's fought Justin Gaethje have said that he hits just magnificently hard. Like, he hits harder than the average person. Charles said he's the hardest person to hit. Justin Poirier, Habib said that. First of all, Habib, man. We can't even talk about the Habib Islam. I don't want to get sidetracked, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But they all said the same thing. Now, people like that, they try not to get hit by Justin Gaethje repetitively because they know it's damaging. Ilya Topuria not respecting that and chasing a first round finish to prove a point is what lost him that fight, because he almost got the first round finish. And I'll tell you guys right now, I had it 1-0 after the first round. I know people were saying Justin Gaethje, and it's not a bad thing to say. I do know first round stats. I'm pretty sure. Okay, Gaethje did actually outland him in the first round. I'll move my camera a little bit so you guys can see it. It was close though, but I did remember thinking that, like, I thought Gaethje won the first half of the first round, but I do remember that Gaethje started getting hit to the body, started getting hit to the head, and started getting like hit with the bigger shots by Ilya Topuria. So I actually thought it was 1-0. Then I thought it was 2-0. And in the second round, Ilya showed some grappling. But the problem was after he punched, I'm not going to say he punched himself out right after the first, because it still seemed like he had some juice left and he was going to still finish him in the second. After the first, I was like, okay, it's a ticking time bomb. But just him walking forward and taking the jabs, chasing the finish was the worst thing ever, because jabs cause damage. Jabs closed up his eyes, swelled up his eyes. You guys know how much on this channel I praise the jabs, saying they're the best shot because they're so effective and they're damaging. You can't just take jab after jab after jab chasing a finish. Like, I'll say this, if Ilya Topuria never got like landed on so much, but he was chasing the finish, but he was more defensively sound and more respectful for the power, he wouldn't have lost if he didn't have like the adverted vision. But it's the adverted vision that sent his, first of all, his corner was in a frenzy. Like, in the fucking doctor tried to stop that. Oh my god, there was so much in that fight. Like, watching live, I was a little bit overwhelmed just seeing it all, you know. And it all was because it's all stemmed from Ilya Topuria's poor attempt of chasing a finish. It wasn't a poor attempt because he came close in the first round, came close in the second round. I actually thought he was going to even submit him in the second at a point, but he just took too much damage and didn't respect the guy in front of him, which is ultimately why he lost. And what surprised me the most is that Justin Gaethje showed up to win. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? That sounds weird, doesn't it? You guys saw, we're going to talk about it later, but Zahabi, the way he fought Sean O'Malley, that's how I pictured Justin Gaethje fighting. I underestimated Justin Gaethje's ability to fight, you know. Ilya Topuria's stock goes down, unfortunately, after this fight. This sport once again proves it's like impossible to predict on like the most obvious fights. You know, it's possible to predict if the fight's close, but like the fights that people swear are one-sided, you know, and swear there's no way, Strickland beats Hamza, no way like Justin Gaethje beats Ilya. Like, I understand why they say it, but like, It just proves like the fights like at that the predictable fights are the most unpredictable. That's what I came to after this one, guys, because I was very surprised about Justin Gaethje going in there, making it ugly, and just out fighting Ilia Topuria. By the third round, I remember Ilia Topuria was kind of just sitting there like this, like half shelled up. You can see his eyes were averted. Like Gaethje would eat Yo, what the fuck was up with Gaethje's chin? I swear, guys, Gaethje would eat some good shots that, like, I feel like will put away 99% of people, and then he'll fire back with like an uppercut or something, and then like it seems like that shot would annoy Ilia. Like Ilia's like, what? He's just not going anywhere. Matter of fact, Ilia's biggest shots, like he did wobble Gaethje a couple times with like jabs and straights, but his biggest shot was the body shots, the liver shots. That's where you actually almost finished Gaethje. You know, he got him with a body shot, then he jumped on him and nearly subbed him, but it seemed like the headshots, Gaethje just ate them a lot better than Gaethje usually eats them. Gaethje was getting rocked by Patty, rocked by a lot of people. Max Holloway put him to sleep. But it was because Justin Gaethje like chose to swing. But he did choose to swing against Ilia as well. And Ilia did have moments where he was landing. But it just seemed like everything Ilia threw, Justin Gaethje would just eat and just keep firing back. And that had to be demoralizing for Ilia Topuria. For someone as cocky as Ilia Topuria, you know, celebrating the night before, man, this was, I got to say, guys, this was a matter of time. Like, I thought it was going to be Islam who did it, but it was a matter of time before he lost after being so cocky, like celebrating, guys. Like, I saw him go live on Instagram before the fight, just, you know, confidence, man, cockiness, whatever you want to call it. Justin Gaethje kept saying the whole time, hey, the more you talk, the more of your asshole, the dumber you're going to look, bro. I'm like, Gaethje just, he had self-belief. He went in there and he shocked the world. I think he shocked the world. This is one of the craziest upsets. I actually don't think it's crazier than Hamza Strickland one, because I could see a world where Gaethje could make this tough and potentially win. Hamza, I really didn't see that, but this is still one of the crazy upsets in the world. And back to the Islam Makhachev narrative, like, I think the talk has to die down now. Islam Makhachev reigns supreme. But now Islam Makhachev, dude, he's going to get booked against maybe Ian Gary. I can't be bothered to just pick and predict on that fight. I just hope people aren't going to be making it seem like it's a one-sided fight. I hope everyone's saying it's 50-50. I just don't like the stigma behind one-sided fights. I do think Ilia Topuria was too confident. I think he looked past Gaethje because he looked at how him and Patty fought, how sloppy and disgusting they were, how shitty they both look, because they both look really shitty. But he overestimated his ability to get a first-round finish when he has only done that once against Charles Oliveira, and Charles Oliveira made it ugly. I kept saying Ilia Topuria's second-round finish is the best take because, like, Ilia Topuria doesn't usually win first rounds in the first place. He lost against Max and Volk, and, like, he doesn't really get first-round finishes that easily. It's just because Charles ran at him like an idiot. You know, Justin Gaethje is a bit more, like, just a bit smarter. So, man, just a tough one to watch for Ilia, but I do think the humbling was required, and I just don't think... Man, and this was like people's goats. Justin Gaethje finally wins the undisputed belt, man, and it's against one of the best people in the world. Justin Gaethje in the GOAT conversation, question mark, bye. I think I'm done talking about this, bro. It's just one of those things where the sport's unpredictable. Ilia Topuria was too overconfident going in there against Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje went in there and made it a fight, and him making the fight was enough to get him to win in the White House. As like a really proud American, the fucking Gaethje gets it done. Bye. Fuck, unpredictable sport though, but it is what it is. Ilia Topuria falls at UFC Freedom 250. All right, I gotta drink some water. Make sure my throat's cleared. Let's talk now. For context, guys, for those who don't know, I made 100 plus hours of tape videos. I'm 4 for 4 now. You know, Van Tyra, Max Holloway, Carlos Uber, Gary, and now Alex Pereira, Cyril Gane. When fights are really close, I know I gotta go the extra mile to win that prediction, you know, and I did it. I'm undefeated. I'm one of the best predictors on the app when I put in time, and I know I am, and I'll keep proving it by going perfect on that video format. I'm not going to abuse that video format. I only use it when fights are wicked close. Neither here or there. Cyril Gane beat the shit out of Alex Pereira, guys. Like, Cyril Gane, it wasn't a close fight. That's the thing that, like, almost surprised me, because I did think on the feet that Pereira's... Well, I kept saying the leg kicks aren't going to be as easy because he's southpaw, you know, but I did say that Alex Pereira is like he's the best striker Cyril Gane stood in front of, and objectively it was, but not really now that I think of it. You know, Pereira got beat comfortably in the first round. Cyril Gane was using the jab like I thought he was. His movement, he was doing the thing I said he does that people said I was just bullshitting, where I said he almost bounces and like just dictates the pace and dictates the entries. He was bouncing, making it comfortable, and every single time he'd entered, that's when you make stuff react. He was doing things where he would feint against Pereira and he would make Pereira, like, you know, do the thing where he pauses, where I said he always does that. And then he was landing straight down the middle. He beat he looks so much better than Alex Pereira. This is a very one-sided fight that shouldn't have been booked. It's almost like, who booked this? Like, hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Hi, Shibai. Nah, I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to toot my own horn, but toot, man. Like, Cyril Gane, honestly, he looked better than I thought he was going to look. You know, Alex Pereira, man. It's weird with Alex Pereira because people kept talking about the Ankalaev fight, and I kept saying if Pereira even does, like, pressure him the way he pressures Ank, Cyril Gane's going to do something where he initiates a clinch, you know, and he did that in this fight. Guys, that little clinch initiation that Justin Gaethje also did against Ilia Topuria, which I feel like I didn't even talk about that. That disrupted Ilia's rhythm, where like these strikers are showing the wrestling. Like, listen, I could do this if I want to. So it just gives you more thoughts. He was doing that against Alex Pereira, comfortably smoked him the first round. Second round starts, and I guess let's address the elephant in the room with the illegal shots. Let's talk about it. I see the poet's heart saying that's the reason he won. Guys, well, I think everyone in the world knows that's not the reason he won. It was just a significant skill gap. I kept telling people lighter man skill wouldn't happen in this fight, and they thought I was exaggerating. They're like, how? He's a lighter man. Guys, Cyril Gane's not the typical blob heavyweight. Alex Pereira will lighter man skill other blob heavyweights. Cyril Gane's not the typical guy. I told you guys Cyril Gane's going to be quicker. He's going to have the lighter man skill. People saw that updated footage work of Alex Pereira, and the nigga literally gassed in that shit. The nigga nearly died in the fucking hitting the bags. I knew Pereira was going to be slower than him. I honestly, I'm surprised about Gane's power a little bit. I did think Gane could knock him out, but it came too early. I thought he was going to knock him out a little bit later, but he put him out in the second round. Like, Alex Pereira was out, and that was a great stoppage. It wasn't too early. Back to the illegal shots. Like, he got dropped. A lot of them went to the side of the head. I will say there were some illegal shots. That's not why he got the finish. So he got the finish because he rocked him, and he got a finish against the fence, not from the legal shots. Yeah, the legal shots probably had some kind of significance, but if you're trying to say that's the only reason he lost, you're deluded. Like, you're just living in a deluded world. You're going to ignore the fact that Cyril Gane was just better than him, more skilled than him, and he's the best heavyweight in the world, like I said he was. Cyril Gane gets it done. Mr. Kenny strikes again. Alex Pereira, where does he go from here? I don't know. You can't go back to 205. You came in heavier than Cyril Gane. Like, nigga, you ain't cutting down back to that way after coming at 251. You were 258 at the start of the week. It was one of those things that I really felt more confident, like, the second. Like, I remember when I made my pick, I was a little bit, it's close. But as the week went by, I kept finding myself more confident, looking at more things about Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane has been in there with harder punchers. People kept thinking Pereira was like a next level puncher. Never been a one-punch guy. He's went against literal one-punch guys in Francis Ngannou. And it's just his ability to make people miss that I knew he was going to do against Pereira. Pereira wasn't just missing the punches. He was missing the low kicks. He was throwing a lot of head kicks, all of them blocked, all of them missed. It seemed like he couldn't find his range at all. He landed 12 strikes, by the way. 12. Guys, the best kickboxer in the world. Okay, let me not say that. The best striker in UFC history landed 12 strikes. 12. And like when I say over half of them were blocked head kicks or like blocked low kicks, kid you not. This was one of the most one-sided title fights in UFC history. It was one of those things. Like, it's one of those things where it seemed like one guy should not have been in there with the other guy because the other guy seemed a lot more skilled. Honestly, I feel for Pereira because, like, why book it when it was that one-sided? See, I'm milking it a bit. Yeah, I'm talking my shit because I guess I was surprised about the lack of anything Pereira had because it seemed like he was completely out of range. You know, I didn't know that Cyril Gane was hard to find his defense. It's like he just does a good job not getting hit, but I thought like maybe you get touched a little bit. I don't even think he got punched in the face once. All the strikes were what? Low kicks? You know, Cyril Gane's body kick was on point. His teep kick, his push kick, his oblique kick. He just had that whole distance management in control. Cyril Gane just seemed to be way better than Alex Pereira. And honestly, guys, thinking about it, guys, and I'm not going to say Alex Pereira is overrated. He's a great fighter, guys, but like, I told you guys, I didn't say that fight was fluky against Ankalaev, but I'm saying the way he rushed that fight and just he went in with a do or die, and he happened to do not die. That was cool, but you can't fight like that at the highest level a lot. Like, Ankalaev seemingly a better fighter than him. Like, out of the majority of the rounds they fought, Ankalaev won majority. And in that fight, you could kind of see when Pereira's in there with a better striker, he almost pauses and has like nothing for them. He had nothing for Ankalaev on the feet in that first fight. I know people are gonna forget about that. I only remember what happened recently when Ankalaev kind of just Pereira lunged himself at him and happened to get the knockout. You know, after like elbowing him in the ribs a bunch of times. You know, and then you look at Jamal Hill win, you start to realize, wait, Jamal Hill's kind of shit. You look at the Yuri Prochazka win, like, Yuri can't even beat a one-legged fighter. I'm not trying to take this to, like, kind of crash on Pereira, but you start to realize, like, Pereira's a good striker, like, against Khalil Roundtree in the fourth round when Khalil has no more gas. Against platypus feet Jamal Hill. who every time he walks, it has that Squidward's tentacles sound effect every time he walks. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how good of a striker really was Pereira before this fight for people to think that like he was gonna sleep Gane and make it look easy. Like, it's crazy that people thought if the knockout happened, it was gonna be like Alex Pereira sleeping him and making it look easy, but that just wasn't the case. Like, it just seemed like Ciryl Gane was way better than him. Ciryl Gane had everything that he didn't have. The clinch work was better with Ciryl Gane. The striking, the wrestling, he didn't even get to take him down. And man, just a lot of moving parts for Alex Pereira, who I don't know where he goes from here. I just think Alex Pereira, I think it's time to retire. He's 38, guys. It's not like he's getting any younger. People kept thinking like every time he would bring up like the Izzy fight, they'd be like, that was him at middleweight. Guys, he was way better. The version I fought Izzy was way better. Like, I don't know why people kept thinking he's prime because he beat Nickal the way he beat him. I'm telling you guys, he would not want to run it back with Nickal. Thank God he's not. You know, him versus Ubro is even interesting now. You know, like, I don't see him beating anyone who's really good at the top of their division right now. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, a rematch, I said how Nickal goes. Can't be Ciryl Gane. It was, like, the thing about Ciryl Gane fight, if it was close and competitive, I'd be like, oh, maybe he competes with, like, Tom Aspinall. Nah, gang. Aspinall beats you too, probably. You know, Sergey Pavlovich beats you too. Probably by finish. Because, like, Ciryl Gane, like, always had power, but Tuivasa did better than this guy, gang. Alright, kidding, don't push it. I'm not pushing it, but Tuivasa actually did better than him. It's just one of those things, like, you know, don't count them chickens, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is an aura loss, though, because I feel like people did expect Pereira, like, there was a stigma behind Pereira, like, he's a really good striker, but it seemed like when he went against the first good kickboxer where he should have had the Latterman skill advantage, he goes in there and nearly dies and gets finished in a very easy fashion where it looks like Ciryl Gane didn't even break a sweat. Ciryl Gane didn't break a sweat to win this fight. Ciryl Gane's really good, though. Ciryl Gane's also really good. I've always said he was the best striker. Now I believe it. You know, sometimes I say things, but I don't know how much belief I really have in it. But the way he disposed of Pereira, maybe Pereira's a bit mid sometimes if you think about it. But then again, I just think he came with a different ferocity. He just seemed like he was levels ahead of Alex Pereira in this one, who had nothing for him, guys. Nothing at all. Had all that aura in the walkout too to get done like that. It was crazy. This one had me celebrating, I can't lie. It was good to see all the poetards learn, like, listen, Mr. Kenny doesn't miss on my predictions when I do the footage for it. So shout out Ciryl Gane. Where does he go from here? Maybe rematching Tom Aspinall if Eddie Hearn doesn't ruin that. But Ciryl Gane's officially the best in the world. And just give him the undisputed belt. Tom Aspinall's been sitting out too long, and he was going to lose to Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane's the best heavyweight in the world, and he beat Alex Pereira. And Alex Pereira could have been one of the GOATs. I could say he could actually, I already said if he actually beats Ciryl Gane, I think he's the GOAT, because I think it's the hardest stylistic fight. People thought I was lying when I said it was a hard stylistic fight. Now you know why I said that. Ciryl Gane, best heavyweight in the world, and one of the best fighters of all time. Ciryl Gane has now proven that he only loses to wrestling. He made Francis Ngannou turn into Francis Nurmagomedov. John Jones beat him because he had the grappling. If you don't have grappling and you're forced to stand with Ciryl Gane, and Ciryl Gane's the guy who could dictate the grappling and striking, may God have mercy on your soul. Shout out Ciryl Gane for a great win, making me look as handsome as usual. Suga Sean O'Malley versus Zahabi. I think this is going to win knockout of the night. I don't know. They could give it they can't really give it to Gaethje, but Gaethje's going to get the performance bonus maybe, but knockout of the night's going to Sean O'Malley. It was early. It was a bit of an early one, but Zahabi pissed me off, guys. I ain't gonna lie. The way he fought got me angry. He just ran in, throw a low kick, and run away, nigga. You're a grown-ass man doing that shit, bro. Lock in, bro. Don't ever piss me off like that again. You know? Yeah, that whole running shit kind of tilted me. I don't know why. I just did. I hated the way he low kicked and ran. Suga was like, it was a tough fight for Suga to find his timing because he was kind of finding someone who's like fighting like a weirdo. But I'm glad that he got the straights, landing the 1-2, beautiful shot by the way, then walked off. The walk, like I'm telling you right now, Suga purposely walked off like that so he could get the knockout waved off, because that fight should have continued. But either way, Suga would have finished him eventually. Suga gets it done very easy fashion. It was satisfying seeing Zahabi get slept. Suga's good. He wants a title fight, definitely doesn't deserve it, but it's Suga. He has that Dana White privilege. Maybe he's gonna get his fit title fight in the last fucking year, because this nigga's been fighting for the title a lot. You know, I think he should fight Corey, you know. But I like Suga. I'm a fan of Suga. So if he gets a title fight, who gives a shit? I think someone like Umar's more deserving, but you know, Umar's a busy man. So I don't know. I don't really know. Suga just like, I think if you're gonna give him the title shot, it's not warranted. But he got the knockout in the White House, a little walk-off knockout, even though it was early. Shout out Suga Sean. He gets it done. Hokit versus Lewis. I kind of expected it to go the way it went. I thought Hokit was going to get it done quicker. Man, total strikes landed by Derek Lewis. I want you guys to see this. He landed 8 total strikes, looking like Pereira out there with that low output. Hey, Shiva. All right, jokes. Yeah, Hawkins had Lighterman skill. Went in there, kind of speed mocked him, took him down, had the weirdest armbar ever. Yo, he does not like. I was waiting for him to tuck the arm under the armpit and like pull and like crank for the armbar, but he just didn't do that. So it was a bit weird. So like he had an armbar in the end of the second, I believe it was, or the end of the first, and he just didn't finish it. But it did seem like he was just did whatever he wanted with Lewis. Lewis is really bad. No surprise to me. A lot of these fights were like kind of oddly one-sided. Oh my God, every fight was one-sided except the main event. Isn't that weird? Every fight was oddly one-sided except the main event, including Gane Pereira. Anyway, yeah, Josh Hokit gets it done, makes it look easy. He's good. I kind of knew he was gonna win. Like, I wanted him versus Pereira. Maybe makes sense. I think Pereira could win that, or yeah, I think Pereira could actually win that. Hopefully, that'd be embarrassing if he loses. It's a winnable fight for either guy. But Hawkich, he always like kind of looks fatigued, but he gets it done. So he fights at a weird pace, but no one can really match it. So shout out Hawkich, easy win. Ruffy versus Chandler. This is the easiest pick on the card for me. I kept saying that. This is just, like I said, one-sided fights across the board. This nigga landed 3 strikes. Yo, he's a grown man, too. Like, he has to go back to his family, like, yo, I landed 3 strikes, bro. And he came out, like, I feel bad, bro. His whole life, like, it came to fighting in the White House. He should just retire, bro. It just seemed like a matter of time before Ruffy was going to finish him anyways. Great big shots by Ruffy. Ends up just putting him away before the first round ends. I kind of expected that. Nothing really crazy happened here outside of the fact that Ruffy beats him up pretty easily. I feel bad for Chandler, bro. Like, he's just such a like, oh, I love America, and then like he has a time to show out in his biggest platform. He just gets slammed out by the Brazilian. Ruffy's good though. Keep your eye on him, guys. Like, honestly, his takedown defense is improving. I know Michael Chandler kind of threw those half-assed, let me grab your leg, act like I'm gonna go for a takedown kind of shit, but it is kind of crazy seeing Ruffy elevate. I do think the Fiziev fight showed me he's a really good striker objectively, and I do think he beats BST in a rematch. I want to see more of Ruffy. He takes his time. He doesn't force stuff. I feel like Suga was trying to look for the finish. Ilya was trying to look for the finish. The best strikers don't look for it. They aim and fire down the barrel. Out of sign and shit. And I feel like Ruffy takes his time. He didn't really chase Chandler. He kind of just like stalked him, and I only threw when appropriate. Smart guy. I like that style better. So he gets a finish against Chandler. And this is Ilya Topuria. He just would have high guarded, walked forward, and ran at him trying to get the finish. Goofy ass boy. Bo Nickal versus Kyle Daukuas. I don't really care enough to talk about this, but of course Bo Nickal wins, gets it done. I don't know why I said that. All right. Both guys looked Bo Nickal, he showed good wrestling. A weird stand-up by Jason Herzog, but ended up getting a finish for Bo Nickal, so I'll respect him for the stand-up. A bit weird, but Bo gets a finish. Happy for him. Good fight. Kind of one-sided, kind of like I expected. This is like the only fight I got wrong that I was kind of annoyed about, because I thought Garcia was just going to have more volume than him and outpoint him. And that's kind of what it was. He had more volume than him, and he was on the process of outpointing him, as you can see. But I don't know. Diego Lopes is not that good to me. I know people think he's great, but like I said, the reason I pick Garcia is I feel like he just doesn't let his hands go. Kind of showed me the same thing this fight. He didn't really let his hands go, but when he did, he caught him, And Garcia looked abnormally worse than usual. Like, he would just kind of lunge into range, throw one shot at a time. It was working, but like Garcia usually chains together combos. Maybe the pressure got to him. A bit weird of a performance. I think Garcia is better than him objectively, but I can't really say that because Diego Lopes just, once he like let his hands go, he knocked him out. So maybe Lopes should just let his hands go more. I don't really know. But Garcia also tried to trade with him in the middle of like him letting his hands go. Garcia could have easily won that fight, but well done, Diego Lopes, getting it done in a very stacked card. 7 fights, 7 finishes, crazy upsets along the board. Some Mr. Kenny picks. Yeah, I don't really know. That was a crazy card. I am happy. I'd like, it was weird because I could have made way more bet if Ilya won. You would think that, because I would have been a millionaire. But let me just say, if Ilya won, guys, by knockout, I would have been a rich guy, but I'll take it, bro. I'll take what I want from the Gane situation. But great card. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. I think this shit was mind-boggling in the best way possible, and UFC Freedom 250 might have been the greatest card of all time with all those finishes. Let me know your thoughts down below. That's it from me. God bless. 2, 3, 4.